NFT.NYC event here inside the PlayStation Theater in Times Square. And we're having a blast. We're laughing a lot. 85 speakers are here in the main stage. And here, welcome to the Golden VIP Lounge, where we're creating this live streaming experience. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ian.
This is our second conversation, both on camera.
Yep.
Eventually, you now just have coffee with nobody watching or listening. So tell the folks that are watching, of course, we're just having a conversation. They're joining, but
okay.
So tell me and they're listening a bit about yourself, a little background.
Sure. My name is Nithin Eapen. I'm an investor, I'm a technologist, and I'm a Uber crypto evangelist. That's what what I really am. My background, I'm an engineer. I've done different jobs. I've played poker. I've built trading systems. I was a market maker on Wall Street. I've built my own companies. I've been a chief investment officer of a crypto venture fund. So now most of my time, it's about investing in the right projects, finding the right founders, and spreading the word. That's what I think it's the biggest thing that is required in this field. It's adoption. More people have to know about this. This great thing has happened. I know it. You know it. The people over here know it. But majority of the world don't know about it. So my goal is to make sure that more people know it. So I spend a lot of time in conferences across the globe. I speak at events. I try to educate people, get on board. This is the biggest thing that is happening. It's the greatest socio-political economic revolution happening in history, and you have to get on board as quick as possible, or you will miss the boat.
Yeah, that's good. Tell me about the people that you currently work with. Who are the, either freelancers or founders or teams that you're engaged with and trying to build the future of blockchain, the future of this, NFT environment?
Okay. So we do multiple things because as a company, as a tech company, so we have a consulting wing. So as a consulting wing, we deal with different Fortune 50 companies, and we do regular tech stuff over there, but we are introducing them to the blockchain concepts over there. We are showing POCs over there. Now, I'm a mentor at Techstars, the Alchemist Accelerator. So there I'm meeting new founders who are trying to, some have a fully baked product, some have an MVP, some are at an idea stage. I'm mentoring them. I'm an advisor to multiple ICOs or projects that were raising money. I was helping them to understand or navigate the blockchain space. I'm helping companies out in India and in US, companies that want to do the right things. So I tell them the idea, it's to understand decentralization properly. It's not about saying, oh, we have the blockchain, but it's one company, it's still one company and they're using it as a database. So that's what I spend a lot of my time when it comes to corporations or companies. I try to educate them on that. From a regular common man perspective, I try to give analogies or I ask them questions. Everybody wants to know, how do you make money? How do you make guaranteed money? That's what most people want to know. I had 6 events last week and I had a TEDx talk. On 4 events, everybody's question was, how do I make guaranteed money? So I got to tell them, listen, can you make guaranteed money in equities, real estate, bonds, or anything like that? No. Why do you expect to make guaranteed money with this? Say, learn the technology. Learn about, if you're trying to invest in equity and stocks, you want to learn about EBITDA or sales, gross sales, and things like that. So same here. Learn about hash rates, learn about what this is, and then you can invest, you can do consulting, you can do development. There are different ways to make money, you see? I try to make them understand.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I've enjoyed about talking with you. One is I think it's very compelling, your thought of how does faith transition to a digital environment.
Okay.
So can you just kind of set the stage for some of the things that you're thinking about around the digitization of faith,
okay.
And your view, not just of it from a high level, but how might that work in different modalities of faith? Because obviously people have different ways of doing faith, and how might that look in a digital frame?
Okay. So let's put it this way. When it comes to faith, there are multiple things where tokenization or NFTs or non-fungible tokens can be used for. So the main thing I would start off with is it can be a remittance platform. So faith-based churches are there everywhere. There are religious places of worship that do a lot of good things and they need money. So it's like you can become that Uber platform that brings the donators or the givers and the takers to one space. Okay, that's one piece. Now, second thing is now you're sending money or you're sending tokens, let it be whatever. You want to get some kind of accountability or transparency from the people who are taking it. What are they doing with it? How many pennies on the dollar are they really using it for good? It's very hard in today's environment, like faith, religious places, institutions, places of worship, or godmen, as you call them, the middlemen. You don't know what they're doing with your money. When you invest your money in a company, you are checking whether they have a good founder, do they have sales. You're checking all these numbers, but the same money that you donate to these institutions, you're not really checking on all these kind of things. So what if there is a way that you can bring transparency? You're sending a token, you can see what they are doing with that token. It is bringing one more step. You're making sure that it's efficient. The money that you're sending is efficient. Or then, the biggest thing I see is, gods are a fictional entity. Okay, what I mean by fictional entity is, like money is fictional. You can't go to a monkey and offer him $1 million and him to exchange his banana. You can't ask a monkey to say, in your next life, I'll give you 10,000 bananas. Give me the one that you have in your hand right now. He won't do it. That's what I mean by fictional. So you have this fictional entity that lives in idols and places of worship. Okay, it's fine though, because humans, we need touchy-feely things. So they built idols and places of worship, synagogues or whatever. Temples. All the same, okay? Sanctuaries, everything.
Different brand name.
Right. So you have this for all of it. But your real friends have now moved to Facebook and WhatsApp. Your real friends have become virtual, and your virtual friend has become real. Maybe it's time to bring the virtual friend to the virtual world. One, it's better. You can reach a larger set of people. One, you can bring transparency. And the third main thing is, these middlemen, they started collecting money. Just like the banks, the middlemen became very powerful. Godmen everywhere, religious institution, the pastors, the priests, all these people have become so powerful that they are in bed with the politicians, and they're moving elections. They're telling whom to vote for. Now, when Facebook was hacked, there's a congressional testimony over it. Social media is hacked, and did people use that data to move our thoughts? Is anybody asking all these pastors who tell in their congregation that you have to vote for this candidate? No, right? So these guys are powerful. Why are they powerful? Because they collect money from a large group of people. I think that needs disintermediation. Now, for people who still love it the way that they think their money is going to God, when your televangelist, the mega church televangelist, buys jets and mansions, no problem. You're okay with it. But there's so many people who are really not sending money for that. This is an opportunity. For the first time, we can disintermediate those middlemen, and we can make sure that money goes directly to God. Or the second best option is make sure it goes to God's children in a better or an efficient manner.
Yeah, that's great. So, as we wrap up, I guess one thing I'll ask you, is there a question I should have asked that you want to answer?
No, this is you've asked me pretty much everything. For me, I think the main thing is adoption, and I hope everybody who's listening to this just go out, read about Bitcoin, start off over there, read about Bitcoin, read about Ethereum, read about what these tokens are, what decentralization is, that you have this middleman, you have your government who's taken over your life, and it's time, for the first time in history, we can get out of that. The internet or the information era helped us a lot so that we didn't have to rely on that central middleman for information. We don't have to rely on his word. We can check what he's told us is true. Otherwise, these middlemen, they lie to you, and you go into war based on some report that you see in a newspaper. That's why newspapers have become irrelevant anymore. Why don't they make money anymore? Because we're not listening to them. Same way, these middlemen, just like the banks, they are cartels. They issue fatwas once they become powerful, right? That's what they do across the globe. I don't think people want it, but they are tied into it. It's a chance to get out. Utilize this.
So, last question. We've talked about the future already together, but like 30 seconds, the future of NFT, you could say something similar to what you said last time, or if you have new thoughts on what does NFT 2024 look like?
2024, my God. I don't even know if NFT is going to be here. You see, that's the problem. The space is changing so much. It's so fast. Like the internet was here 20 years before 10 years or 15 years. It was a gradual incremental change. It happened in 5 years. But in the blockchain space, the changes in 1 year. 2020, I think everything will become a non-fungible token with layers or multi-dimensional tokens below it, because art, real estate, everything that we know, every transaction is going to come to the blockchain, some form of blockchain, and everything will become tokenized. Music, IP rights on music, or every content creator, just like now we are content creators on Facebook, we don't get paid for it. There's a possibility that we could get paid for it.
Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you, Ian.
It's always fun to talk with you.
All right.
Next time, no cameras, just you and I.
Oh, perfect. I would love that.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.